Hi everyone. So I was on my Titan recently, and while I was on my Titan, I was largely using Void and Solar builds. But a few hours ago, I decided I was going to run a couple Legendary Lost sectors. Now, as much as I do like the Solar and Void builds, I wanted to try something new when I was playing a few Lost sectors. Only then did I finally equip the Strand Titan build that I had made. And after I put that on and played a few Legendary Lost sectors, I realized how great this build is for endgame content, and just in general. With specific fragments and the new Titan exotic leg piece, Abiant Leap, you gain incredible survivability along with the ability to easily kill unstoppable and barrier champions without the need to bring in specific weapons. So, without wasting any more time, let's look at what makes this build work. So starting off, this build does not require any artifact mods to work, which means it can be used in future seasons. Going into the Strand Super, you can use Tower and Barricade or Rally Barricade, whichever one you want. This build really relies on the Shockwave Grenade over the other two, so make sure you have this. And then for the aspects, into the fray, destroying a Tangle or casting your super grants Woven Mail. This means whenever you kill enemies while they're suspended or you kill them with your melee ability, then you can throw the Tangle on the ground in front of your feet, giving yourself Woven Mail for a brief period. The second Titan aspect is Dranger's Lash. Activate your class ability to create a ripple in reality that travels forward along the ground, suspending and damaging targets it hits. Combining this along with your grenade ability, you have two separate ways of suspending targets in front of you. And combining the mods that this build uses, you can gain these two abilities back really often, which means you can use them both hand in hand to almost always have a target suspended. Going on to the fragments, the first fragment I'm using is Thread of Mind. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy, and since you're going to have so many options to suspend targets, you'll be getting back your class ability energy to suspend targets even faster. The second Strand Fragment is Thread of Transmutation. While you have Woven Mail, Weapon Final Blows create a Tangle. Since you're going to be gaining Woven Mail so often by killing suspended enemies, you'll always be able to have a Tangle to use. The next Strand Fragment is Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. This just allows you to get back your grenade even quicker while using it with your class ability. The last Strand Fragment I'm using is Thread of Continuity. Suspend, Unravel, and Sever effects applied to targets have increased duration. This just allows all targets you suspend to stay in the air longer, allowing you to kill them and get your abilities back quicker. Going on to the armor mods, on my headpiece I have a Void Siphon mod that matches my equipped weapon. For this build you can use whatever weapon you want, so just put on whatever Siphon mod applies to what weapon you're using. The other two mods are optional, but I like to use Special Ammo Finder to make sure I never run out of special ammo. On my arms I'm running an Impact Induction mod. Causing damage with a melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. Considering you have 3 melee attacks, this is great for getting your grenade back real quickly. I'm also using 2 Bolstering Detonation mods. Grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. Considering how many targets you're hitting with your grenade, you're going to be getting back up plenty of class ability energy when you throw your grenade. On my chest piece, I'm running 3 resistance mods of my choice. You can use whatever resistance mod you want, or even use a reserve mod based on the heavy weapon you're using. Going on to the exotic item that makes this build work even better, the Abiant Leap has an exotic perk. Dranger's Lash spawns 2 additional projectiles, tracks targets more aggressively, and travels further. While this part isn't the real part that goes with the build, it's still a nice addition. The real part that goes with the build is gain Woven Mail when suspending targets. So while you do gain Woven Mail by throwing your Tangle on the ground, this allows you to gain it even more often when you just suspend targets. On this piece, I'm using an Innervation mod. Reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an Orb of Power. This just allows you to get back your ability even quicker when you don't have other abilities to work along with it. I'm using an Arc Weapon Surge mod because my heavy weapon is an arc weapon. And then finally, I'm using Insulation. Reduces class ability cooldown each time you pick up an Orb of Power. This allows me to get my grenade and class abilities back much quicker. On my Titan Mark, I'm using 2 Bomber mods. Reduces grenade cooldown and using your class ability. Considering you're spamming both your class ability and your grenade often, you'll be able to mix and match between the two, and whenever you use your class ability, you'll be gaining grenade energy back. I'm also using a Distribution mod. Reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability and your targets. Once again, this just allows you to get more grenade energy. So that's the build. Let me know down below if you've started using this build and what you think of it, and what other builds you might want me to make in the future. Thanks and have a good day.